Welcome back. I'm MTG Joe, and we're going to be here for the first budget build series in Throne of Eldraine Standard. So for those of you who are newer to the channel and having seen what we do with these series, is effectively what I try to do is take a constructed deck, one that usually has like a 30 plus rares, mythics, or some of the tiered lists, and I try to work backwards and create three variations of the deck. Obviously the fully tuned version, like a mid-budget version, and then a budget version. The budget version is what we're starting off with here. Ideally I try to make it as free of rares and mythics as possible, as like budget conscious, budget friendly as we can. So usually what I try to do, in the past I tried to keep it to only free cards and the rare lands. I think with a lot of the decks now, because there's a higher density of rare cards and people are a little bit more committed to Arena in the sense that they do have a bit of a starting collection. For the budget decks, I'm going to try to keep them under 10 rares and mythics in its entirety. So this particular list that we're going to start with today is a 8 rare budget Golos Field of the Dead deck. So 8 rares being 4 Golos, 4 Field of the Dead. You can't build the deck without those cards, so that's where we're going with this here. So what I do is I'll play these 3 decks on stream. I'll have my thoughts on it, and then I do a write-up on, usually on AetherHub. I'll detail why I made the choices, what I thought went well, what we would change in the future, and kind of give you a step-by-step on what you can plug into these decks as you go on. So where we did like the budget decks and they're kind of standalone decks, I'm going to kind of guide you through how we build this out. So I'm starting with Golos Field. Because Golos Field was my favorite deck of last year. I do want to see if there's some opportunity to play it in the new standard. I also have like half this deck in foil and paper. So I really like Golos. He's my favorite card they've printed in some time. But to kind of walk you through what the deck's trying to do. You're trying to ramp up, play Golos, and then activate its ability to cast stuff for free from your deck. So Golos will generally come into the battlefield and you'll search up the card Field of the Dead. So Field of the Dead looks for 7 unique lands in play. Once you have the 7, they can stack and you can get a bunch of zombie tokens and a smash into your opponent's face. So we've seen some variations of this. The last season what I played was a Golos Field deck that played Nexus of Fates to basically take all the turns and just smash in with zombies. So this is more around the Gates shell. So we're going to be playing a lot of the Gates Matter cards. And we got a couple new additions, but this deck overall hasn't been too impacted by Throne of Eldraine, at least for the budget version. For the mid-budget versions, we're going to be playing some Okos, and probably some of the other cards. The new board wipe in white, the Realm Clerk Giant, I think it's called. We'll be playing that as well. So to walk you through the deck, we have a couple sources of... I'm going to break it up into like groupings. So we have the ramp package. So you have Arboreal Grazer, early blocker. It can allow us to get to 3 mana on turn 3, untapped, which is good because that's usually where we want to drop one of our enchantments. We have Growth Spiral, which is card draw and ramp. Kind of puts us up to pace with both these cards with our lines coming into play tapped. Then we move to Circuitous Route. Circuitous Route lets us filter for whatever lands we need. To get the 5 colors. So in its essence, this deck is Temur based, so red, blue, green, with light splashes of white in the main board and black for a couple sideboard cards, but really the black is solely in here to activate Golos' ability. And then we have a new card in Beanstalk Giant. So Beanstalk Giant has the rampant growth effect, where we can search for a basic land, put it into the battlefield. So we are playing a bit more basics than traditionally you'd be playing in a Gates deck. And then on this flip side, we get a creature that's a big beater that's equal to the number of lands we play. We are a ramp deck, so this scales with the more lands we play. So the rest of the deck, we have the Gates payoff cards in the sense of Guild Summit. Whenever a gate enters a battlefield under control, we get to draw some cards. Gates Ablaze is a board wipe for 3 mana. Which in this deck is quite useful because usually with the budget constraint versions, we don't have a true board wipe. You usually play something like Cryocarnarium, which doesn't scale well to all these big green creatures that are coming around, so this is a useful card in that sense. Then a couple like fun of-ish cards, but also ones I just want to see. Improbable Alliance, we tend to draw quite a few extra cards with the deck, so I wanted to try a one of just to see if it was useful. So we have Growth Spiral, Guild Summit, pretty much is the way we draw the cards, but we're going to be getting incremental value that way. Golos can also dig us to play some of these cards or get extra land drops. So I want to see if this is useful. Also, in the late game, if we do kind of flood, we have the ability to filter our draw with the draw and discard effect. So trying out one of those. Another card I wanted to try out was Samut, the Tyrant Smasher. So this gives our creatures haste, which gives all our zombies haste. So as you've seen probably in the past with these Bant Scapeshift decks, you plus the fairy, and then you can cast your Scapeshift at instant speed, you untap and then kill your opponent. So more combo. So this is a way we can try to combo out with that as well. It can also give like our Beanstalk Giant if we cast it haste, which might be a way to kind of steal some games. And then 3 Archway Angels. We are likely going to take a lot of damage in the early game, so this is a way for us to recover. And against some decks, we can just put our life total out of reach. So it's pretty much the main board. Mana base wise, we got a bunch of different gates for Field of the Deads. So it's primarily all the Teamer gates, where we have a couple of those. So 3 of the main Teamer gates, and then just kind of one-ofs of all the other ones. And then 1 Gateway Plaza. I'm never really a fan of Gateway Plaza, but it helps deal with the black mana. Your deck's already slow, and then to have to pay another mana to tap for it feels usually pretty bad. Obviously, the main card we're missing in this mana base is Gateway Plaza. Plaza of Harmony. So this one gains us life when it comes into play. It also comes into play untapped, and it filters for any mana. So this is something you'd upgrade obviously afterwards. If you have them, throw them into the deck already. It's a quick addition. Also, if you have Hydroid Krasis, play a couple Hydroid Krasis. If you have Teferis, play a couple Teferis. Usually that's what we'll be playing towards. Sideboard wise is really just shoring up a couple of the aggro matchups. Glass Casket versus some of the early stuff. The nice thing is there's like a lot of Rotting Register going around. Glass Casket could exile that. Noxious Grasp versus green things. Prison Realm versus like Planeswalker decks. Gates Ablaze with just the 4th copy. In decks where they'll likely be bringing in some sweepers for like Cryocarnarium, stuff like that, I'll bring in the Gatebreaker Rams. Also against like the green mirrors, it's just a big body that can trade. And Meteor Golem's catch-all removal. That's colorless that we can hit for 7 mana. So I'm trying out something like that. Usually you'd want stuff like Unmoored Ego. We'll play around with that there. Probably like a Time Wipe, something like that. And we could go from there. I usually like Time Wipe in these decks because you could bounce your Golos, save it, and then recast it to get another Field of the Dead. So let's play through some matches. I'm not sure if the season restarted yet. 27 hours. So let's play some actual constructed events then, and go from there. So usually I'll play, depending on the length, 1 to 3 matches, and then see how the deck plays out. Really, it's just a kind of demo. This is obviously budget, but I want to put it against some good decks. Morning Quantum, how's it going? And as we get started here, as always, if you are purchasing any Throne of Eldraine cards, any Brawl cards, anything like that from the new set, I'm going to keep this hand. We can accelerate in Circuitous Route. And you are purchasing from TCG Player, I do have an affiliate link in the YouTube description down below. If you click the link, make your purchase as normal. Just helps out the channel for free, which is greatly appreciated as always. So a little bit awkward with the basics. Opponent might be on a similar game plan to us, but I like the fact that we can go root next turn. We're gonna go get a Teamer land. Yeah, so opponent's actually similar game plan to us, which is quite funny, but they might be playing a non-budget version. So I need this, and I'll take a Izzet Guildgate. So there was a play to take a black source, which we were missing. We might have needed to go for that. But if I get Golos, then I could just cast Golos. Okay, so they have Teferi. So this is actually a good match to play game 1, because we can see what our deck becomes. I'm just going to drop an Archway Angel. It's a clock to start to get going. And then Field of the Dead's on as well. Oh, we played that backwards. We should have played the Gate, and then we would have gained 2 more life. So they hit Golos here, which is unfortunate. So usually with the Golos mirrors, it's whoever gets Golos going first.
Let's try this.
Guild Summit's actually really good here. So let's take out Tef.
Only time will tell.
So I have to tap like this. To be honest, I've just been playing like big dumb creature decks a lot, and I've been like, from what I've streamed is basically what I've played. I haven't played too much outside. Oh, they fixed Guild Summit, which is awesome. Okay, we got Golos. We are in business. They're also missing a red source. Usually like 2-3 weeks. The first tournament hasn't come out. Okay, so they're getting their value. They got Field. So they got a Arboreal to drop a second Field of the Dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm gonna drop Golos. You know what? Let's... So I'm doing this first in case we can hit a black source. Okay, we don't. So we want... Doesn't matter. This will also give us a card draw. Second Golos isn't bad. It's actually been working out pretty well. It's a nice demo. At this point, Gates Ablaze clears both our boards. Okay, so they got a Guild Summit and they got Beanstalk Giant. They got an 8/8, but no evasion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I might be tempted to just root here, because this doesn't allow us to play out anything else this turn. But if we take the turn, we root, and then we Beanstalk Giant, we get the value that way. So let's do that. So, cool. Opponent's seen enough. Our flyers were going to be the difference there. So this mirror match, probably want... Oh, okay. Cool. We will take that as a win. We beat the non-budget version. I like when our deck does what it's supposed to do the first game. It makes my demoing of the decks so much easier. It's when we play an hour game and then it's like the last point. So this will be the first budget build. For the next one, if you have any suggestions, I'm always open. So this hand, if we had a green source, would be good, but I think we have to mulligan. Okay, we got a mulligan again. This is awkward. Okay, we don't need 2 Grazers. For Krasis and Teferis, I'd take out the Samut. I would take out... we're just not drawing anything. So I'm probably just going to see what the opponent has so we can sideboard. Probably do Samut. Or let me go to the sideboard and I'll let you know, Quantum. Okay, so this is Grixis. I'm going to concede to a Thought Erasure. So we also can't draw cards, which is rough, so we're just going to go to sideboard here. Prison Realms we need. Green or white's not going to work there. Probably bring in the Meteor Golems as catch-all. So I would take out Improbable Alliance, most likely. A Samut. and then shave down 1 Gates Ablaze. Probably 1 to 2 Angels as well. Maybe all the Angels main, and then just put Hydrate, Krasis, and Teferi. I gotta play around with it a bit. So we got 64 cards. Gates Ablaze isn't as useful typically in this matchup. I like Alliance probably isn't going to be as good because they're going to hamper our ability to draw cards. I think we just go like that. Just play bigger. So fortunately that first game. There's a list that I saw. 1 sec, let me pull it up. That's what kind of got me inspired to play this. Okay, sounds much better. Much better. We can play Magic. So, you usually want to keep any hand that you can Growth Spiral on too. And we're going to be up to 4 mana. Alright, where are we at? So, I'll play Field and Izzet Guildgate, no attacks, next turn. Does this then put it onto the battlefield? So that comes into play untapped, which is nice. So let's make sure we tap right. We're gonna get a island. No, doesn't actually. We don't have a white source, so let's get that out of the way. Oh no, I screwed up. Ah, crap. We needed another color, so I could have Growth Spiral. Hey, Ricky Joes, thanks for tuning in. We're going to be back with them now. Now we're punished because Growth Spiral's not going to work. They got an ETG. Actually, I'm going to... That's fine. We'll just Growth Spiral on their turn. So the list that I saw, they play 4 Okos, 4 Teferis, 2 Agents. They only play 3 Roots, 2 Krasis. They play 1 Grazer and 4 Goose, but I'll have up the updated list when we build it. So this is something that's problematic. So we need to try to kill them as quick as possible. So Golos would be pretty good to get a second Field of the Dead. And the unfortunate thing is... So they're probably going to play Chandra. They'll play Nico Bolas, which starts eating away at our hand. So this is Mogwai's list. So we can't cast that yet. Okay, sweet Golos. So we're going to get rid of that. We're at 7 mana. So let's go get second Field of the Dead. Oh, we actually don't have a black source. We messed that up. Okay, we'll pass the turn. M20 actually had a lot of pretty decent cards overall. Like if you look at like the whole Elemental package, the Cavaliers are really good cards. Knight of Eben Legion. Okay, so we're not super punished because my guess is they're going to take out Golos, which is fine. They can do the... Ooh, they have Ritual. So this is the reason we kept this open. Is we want to be able to get the zombie. You may only cast spells during your turn and you can't cast more. That's fine. Oh, actually they can't, so let's go face with one. When you can kill it, you want to make sure. So I can do Beanstalk, get a land, and then cast the Beanstalk. So here I don't think it matters too much. We're actually a little low on blue, so let's get a blue. And then just cast the Giant. Okay, so we got lethal. They can go God Eternals to create a blocker, but then we could just Prison Realm it. They could have Bedevil, which they do. Let's see if they go God Eternals here. Okay, they have Chandra. Quite annoying.
I've always wanted to make a really big fireball.
So we can do the same play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm actually just gonna go. Chandra's pretty rough, so I'd rather get rid of it.
Reduced to embers.
Do you just want to like run Beanstalk Giants to them? Like deal with this? Here's my 10-10. Because like they could God Eternals, deal 4 to it, but then they just have a chump blocker for the turn. Ah, that's bad. That gets them probably a Nicol Bolas or something. Yeah, I gotta build this list. I think I'm just 2 boluses short.
Once again, defiance has consequence.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're just gonna throw down our big creatures and say have an answer for it. Here, I think we're pretty comfortable to just get rid of a land.
Time Planeswalk witness a mote of my power.
So the ETG here. They did get rid of a Golos. I think its net CMC is 7. That sucks. They got the Lily too. Yeah, so it's 7 CMC because of the creature. The Fertile Grove, I believe. So here, let's just get some lines out of our library. We're like live for Golos at any time now. Would love a Golos. Even, they hit 2 Guild Summits. Guild Summit would have been great because we could have just drawn like a ton of cards. Now that they have the Vantress engine going, it's pretty good. So they put one on top. So that could be another Chandra. It could be a Ritual of Soot. Thanks for all tuning in. We are playing a budget build of Golos Field of the Dead. It is 8 rares. You got your 4 Golos, your 4 Field of the Deads. The rest of the deck is built around the Gates archetype. We took down the Gates Mirror game 1, and now we are playing against... Actually, I shouldn't have done that. We technically had lethal. Well, they would have just created a blocker. So we're playing against Mogwai's Grixis Fire of Inventions list. We've just been beanstalking. I think we've hit all 4 now. Yeah, we've 4 for Ford. But we're getting to the point where they're just going to grind us out on value. They've hit 3 Field of the Deads. Okay, Archway Angel's not bad. Do think we have to get rid of Liliana here.
Well, looks like you're on your own. Dead.
It's just going to gain us a bunch of life. We just need to present threats. It's the only way we're actually going to be able to get ahead here. We've taken down 1 Lily, 1 Bolas. They've hit 2 Drawn from Dreams? 3 Drawn from Dreams. So Slowly running out of the card advantage. They're at 31 cards in deck. Just need a Golos. Golos one time. This is a matchup where you can get like Oko or stuff like that. It would be a little bit better. I'm going to get rid of the mountain here. I want to keep our threats to attack in here.
Without limit.
5. That actually turns off Golos' ability. So maybe taking the zombie was the right play. They'll sack here.
I hope you make this battle exciting for me.
They may not sack and just make the zombie. Yeah, because we don't kill him this turn.
Rise and shine.
We're pretty dead.
Ugh. I hope you washed your hands first.
We'll just exile one of our zombies. They can make a sack too, but it's not going to do too much here. So this is part 1 of a 3-part series on budget build. So this is the cheapest version of the deck, 8 rares. I'll come with like a mid-tier version that's probably about 15 to 20 rares and mythics. And then we'll do a fully tricked out version of the deck. So that's pretty bad because it turns off our Guild Summit draw. And they get the draw from Dreams, so that finds them their next thing. I don't think we have an answer at this point of the game. But we'll get a Golos, hit Field of the Dead, and try to swing for the fences.
Good help is easy to find in war.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate because we can't do anything there. So let's try to see if they just trade here. They do. I guess we can alt win con, try to mill them out. Obviously can't do anything, so we'll decline. I'm probably just going to do this to get rid of the Guild Summit to the Nicol Bolas Plus here. With an active Narset out, this came a turn too late. If we would have got it out before, we could have refilled our hand and been in a better position. There are 30 cards, they're at 25. Okay, so they're going a little bit more aggressive. Each opponent chooses a permanent type among permanents they control and sacrifices the rest. So that gets rid of all our lands, so we need to try to pressure them. They are a couple turns away. They Vantress. I gotta build this deck. This is like my jam. They always, like, I've lost pretty much every game. Oh, that's really bad.
Get out of my way.
Really bad.
Is it just me, or is it getting a little warm in here?
Putrid, but effective.
So we just go.
Aw, looks like someone's getting.
Oh, so now they're just gonna double up on here.
I'm omnipotent.
It's so broken, the emblem. Oh, Meteor Golem. Oh, this is post sideboard. We need to get rid of our set, unfortunately. Although this is the scariest, because it stops us from card draw. Nah, we gotta get rid of Liliana.
Death news. Time to go.
I forgot this was post board. Game 1 was we mulled 3 times. In our 28 land deck, we mulled 3 times, and each hand had only 3 lands in it. They're likely gonna Chandra wipe here, so I'm fine to attack in. They're at 24 cards in library. They probably have another Liliana. So we do have a bunch of there's some arena codes as well if you haven't checked for some styles.
Glad I could help not being on fire problem. Let's get
Awesome, Ricky Joes. Yeah, that's what I like about these budget decks, especially early. I usually play them all early in the season before like meta's established. You want to get a feel for what you like, what you don't like. Okay, so Field's not the worst draw. It gives us a lot of tokens. We're taking 3 damage a turn, so that we're not going to outmill them. Like I could Golos get Meteor Golem. So like Meteor Golem's better served as Agent of Treachery, so if you have those, play Agent of Treachery. Because like imagine here we can steal Nico Bolas and kill Chandra. Like that would be a sweet play. But at this point they're just going to kind of grind us out. So mid-range is usually that mix of... do we take the 2? Probably. This smells to me like they're going to minus Chandra. Mid-range usually beats up on aggro, control beats up on mid-range, and aggro beats up on control in like a perfect environment.
Get out of my way. Or, you know.
So we're taking 4 a turn. Archway Angel wouldn't be too bad, gives us a couple more turns. But opponent's playing it smart, keeping Narset pretty high. Golos. Alright. We're not coming back from that, so let's actually play a game where we can play a little bit more. I'm also playing like the competitive ranks at a fairly high level, just below Mythic, without packing too many rares. So this is the deck for those just tuning in. So like I said, there's only 8 rares in the Golos and the Field of the Deads. So we're also trying out Improbable Alliance. It was good game 1 because it gave us some flyers. We're drawing a lot of incidental cards through Growth Spirals, Guild Summits and such. I'm trying out a Samut in this budget build as a haste enabler for our zombie tokens. It's a way for us to get kind of a combo like with the Fairy Scape Shift instant speed. Beanstalk's been really good so far. I like its flexibility as early ramp, filling the Elvish Rejuvenator slot, and then a late game big threat. Post board, some Glass Caskets for aggro, Noxious Grass versus Green, Prison Realm versus Planeswalkers, which in reality, I'm going to make this switch. We need more answers to Planeswalkers. That game showed, so I'm actually going to do it like this. 4 Prison Realms seem right, because it's the same feasibility. We can use them for creatures as well. Some Gatebreaker Rams, and then some Meteor Golems as kind of catch-all removal. So we're 1-1 with the deck. I'm going to run it for one more match. And then, so this is the budget version. I will come back with the mid-budget version. And then the fully tweaked out version. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, it's kind of selfish because I have half this deck in paper from last season foiled. So I want to see what works out best. Got to go buy my Realm Clerk. Got to check if they have the alternate arts of them, the fair storybook. Those in chat, did anyone go to pre-release? I wasn't able to get out and I'm kind of disappointed. This hand feels really slow. We don't have an early accelerant. Opponent goes first, but we kind of win the late game. So I'm going to try it. I'm just seeing everybody pulling those like full art lands, and it's making me very sad because I want them. Or not lands, like the Planeswalkers. Okay, so this is like these. So I think we get rid of a Golos here. We're a few turns off it. So we're punished for not playing the Guildgate here. So I'm actually going to try to get ahead on mana. Or actually, not now. So if this is just Golgari, we're going to get rid of the Growth Spiral. So So that's kind of a mistake. You always want to make it so you can have blue-green open. So I should have been aware that I had the forest in hand and played that with the Guildgate first. Good thing is we've had a kind of awkward start, but the opponent's not been too aggressive. And now we can root here. We can set up a Golos. So I need... Let's get Boros Guildgate. And... probably... an Izzet Guildgate. We have the red. Actually, let's get... we need blue... Yeah, let's go Azorius. Draw 2 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we do have 2 forests. So Gates Ablaze would be solid here. Okay, so let's go Golos. I'm gonna get a Field of the Dead out. Opponent's had a pretty good hand, all things considering. And then we drop the Simic Guildgate, and then next turn we can drop the Field of the Dead. Okay, so we're just chaining Field of the Deads now, which is actually pretty solid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we're blocking here. And I'll block in front of the Fenlurker. No pumps. It's actually fine. I got Spawn. So Spawn's a bit scary. We want to hit an Archway Angel here. Oh, that's actually very good. That can block the Spawn. We drop Field of the Dead. We drop a Field of the Dead. We do some rooting. I'm going to get a second black source. And we have 1 white source, 2 white sources. So we can do 2 activations. Let's just get another Gruul Guildgate. Draw some more cards. Another route. No attacks here. Archway Angel is going to gain us a bunch of life next turn, which is nice. So that should help us recover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I should be able to do both if I play it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So let's activate Golos first, see what we get. Okay, so let's go... Okay, so they're pretty much dead. That was sweet. So we did what we wanted to. This looks like Golgari Aria. So mono black, splash green. So this matchup, we want our other Gates Ablaze. The Prison Realms are good, and the Glass Caskets. Meteor Golem's probably a little lackluster. Samut's not going to be needed as much. I usually like cutting down 1 root in the aggro matchups. Improbable Alliance is going to be a little too slow. Probably shave down 1 Guild Summit. It's aggro, so gonna shave the Gateway Plaza, 1 land usually. Beanstalk's okay, but maybe cut 1 because it's a little slow. And just cut 1 Prison Realm. Go like that. I like Archway Angel because it recovers us quite a bit if we could get to the late game. We do need the card advantage. They'll likely be bringing in Duresses, stuff like that. And then they'll probably bring in Legion's End is my guess. So usually you'd have Hydroid Krasis in this place, so you'd be able to get a big enough blocker for the Spawn of Mayhem. I love Golos. That was my favorite deck, the Golos Field. So this hand, unfortunately, it's actually, so these are kind of dead cards now for what they are. We do have the Gates Ablaze, but I think we need to mulligan. And of course we are punished. I could probably throw in a Yark, to be honest. Okay, we're gonna keep this hand. I'm gonna bin the put the Golos. One Golos back. I think we put the... Yeah, I think we go like this. I've played some variations that have Yark in it. But the problem is when you're playing the Gates Ablaze... Yeah, now we're punished. When you're playing the Gates Ablaze version, it's usually not as meaningful to have Yark. Like, we could play Yark Field with, like, Yark Elementals. Hey, Packers fan, thanks for the follow. So this hand by the opponent's actually quite scary. They'll pump here. Oh, no pump. So if they're going to commit more to the board, that's actually pretty good. This is iffy. Okay, so I think what we need to do is unfortunately go pretty big here. Get a land, but then I can't play Golos next turn anyways because it comes into play tapped. I need to just try to get to the point where this Gates Ablaze can wipe the board. So they can hit for a lot of damage here. Ashiok. Okay, so we have Prison Realm, but we don't have the land for it. Let's see what we draw. Okay, so we have the land there. So next turn I have 4 gates. This can make it one bigger, but they have the pump here, so that does take us out. So I do need to Gates Ablaze, unfortunately. Probably going to be a turn too slow. If we had the white source, I would have Prison Realmed it. I also don't understand how 28 line decks mull so much. Let's see what we get. Yeah. Look at all these answers. That's tough. If we had it a little earlier, we might have been able. Those Spawn of Mayhems are quite a bit of an issue. Still think we just run it back. We could have fired off, like if we had the Gil. We took a chance keeping Golos. That first hand was iffy. We would have had some answers early, but we had 2 Arboreal Grazers, which was like a multi 5 anyways with no green source in hand. Like, that matchup would have felt a lot better if we had, say, like a Teferi. We'll play first. We go first. We have a Gates Ablaze. Show me a blue source. Untapped Island would make my dreams. Give me an untapped island. You know what? It's close enough. We'll take it. Hopefully get to 4 lands there. If we could find a white source, that'd be fantastic. Oh, we are just living the dream, folks. So we do have both, so I'm gonna go with the second blue source here. Next turn, I'm gonna Glass Casket the Knight of Eben Legion, and then Growth Spiral, and hopefully find another land. If they do play Spawn. So there is utility in us getting rid of that, but I think right now we just get rid of their threat. We're not necessarily searching for lands right now, so I'm not as concerned. Just pass the turn. If we had stuff like Blind Search, then I'd Prison Realm, but I'm just going to throw down Prison Realm next turn. Our mana base is a little weird right now, because although we're going to be getting to the number of lands for Field of the Dead, we do have duplicates here. Rotting Regisaur. Sure thing. Well, we have a Gates Ablaze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we need to hit one more gate.
I leave you with I aspire for more.
So let's just do this. It's actually not terrible. So I can do both, which isn't too bad. So I think we do need to get rid of the Regisaur here. Yeah, we're doing well today. I don't know if it's just the early time slot. People are into the budget Golos lifestyle. So I think we just do this. And we can go from here, just auto pay. This could kind of get us some card advantage. I purposely left the land on top. The opponent's going to mill us anyway, so I don't want to put something good on top. And then if we get rid of it, then I'm fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gets rid of most of their threats except Regisaur. I got what, 3 activations left of this. That's fine. We can get rid of Yark. I didn't see what they milled. So they got rid of an Angel. And they got rid of Golos, some guilds. Just wipe the board. Set up our draw. So forest is not where we want to be. A couple reasons is we have really 1, 2, 3, 4 unique lands. So it's a very... are you kidding me? Okay, so we are going to get milled out this game. I really just want... that's not bad. Just going to attack Ashiok. I got Spawn. Golos in this spot's actually not too good. Okay, that's actually sweet. That should turn on our actual fields next turn. And I'm going to try to race them. They need another spawn, otherwise I can take out Ashiok. So they have second spawn. That's fine. Those aren't good cards anyways. How many Gates Ablaze have we hit? 1. Okay, so we have 2 draws. We don't have Izzet Guildgate, so let's play that out. Now we're just trying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So next turn we get the zombies. But they're eating away at our hand as well. So we do need, I think, to throw a block in this turn. Or they're eating away at our library. We are pretty weak. Ah, there's a Gates Ablaze. We need those blazes. So okay, so we got Beanstalk. Beanstalk's actually pretty good. No, don't play Simic Guildgate. Play Selesnya. Now we get the zombies. It's not really what I wanted, so I can't search. So I'm just gonna present them with the biggest creature I can. And force them in a way that they can't... They gotta keep something back, otherwise we can kill them. We're at 11 cards. There's still a Gates Ablaze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That keeps our Beanstalk Giant alive. That's fine. So they can hit us for 4 if they want. I think that's 3 blazes. But we play 4 post board. Okay, so we got Growth Spiral. So let's see what we got. Make a bunch of zombos. So I can draw 2 cards. So auto pay. I need to find my Gates Ablaze. But I could also find a Prison Realm, so... Oh, no. Just 2. Just 2. Eee, got it. Yeah. So attack for 12. We're actually 1 line short of just winning. Okay. Oh shit, we only have 1 card in our library. So they have any blocker, we lose. Got him! Alright. I'm happy with that one. Just get all the stuff. Give me all this stuff. Let me crack a pack. Give me an Oko. Give me an Oko in my pack. Make this a good morning for me. It's an Oko. It's an Oko, okay? Alright, that was a sweet game. So I'm going to wrap it up. If you missed any part of it, I'll have this up on YouTube tomorrow. And then I'll have the full deck series. I'll try to get it done by the end of the week. Usually I'll have all the videos up beforehand, and then it usually takes me a day or 2 to do the write-up. Usually put in like 4,000 or 5,000 word write-up on it, all my thoughts, everything like that. Then I gotta get my editor-in-chief, aka my wife, to take a look through it. But it'll be up on AetherHub. You can catch all my content, all my articles up there. Everything is on my YouTube channel, so if you do miss anything from my stream, I do have it there. And as always, if you do have any recommendations for budget builds that you'd like to see, just drop a note on my YouTube channel. I have a community section. You can drop any comments there, any of the videos, as well as let me know. I'm considering doing a deck unboxing video for Throne of Eldraine. If that's something you'd be interested in seeing, do let me know. Prices in Canada are a little bit higher on booster products, so want to see if it's worthwhile from a viewer standpoint to actually do so. But as always, thank you for tuning in. It was a very good stream. Appreciate everyone stopping by, and have a good one. Happy pre-release if you're heading over today, and if you're cracking some boxes, I hope you get nothing but full art Okos and Garrix. Have a great Sunday, and see ya.